January 23rd, 2022. The algorithm on my cell phone, for whatever blessing is behind today's acknowledgement to my person, which I do not know, and person being Person, not Purse, for those that linguistically, whatever. They put up something last night, an article I have not read. It's in a rainbow. They used rainbow color technique of all different colors, de couleur. The humans or the whatever that was allowed to put on the Google feed. And it says, it has cryptic, whatever, that I will keep it private to myself. But it says, now it says that the alphabet I am writing in is Latin, Latin. Don't like the sounds of that. Now, there's a whole thought process that goes along in graphy, and then there's a PO, and then there's NPO is nothing in medical terms. It's nothing by Oricchio, or the ocularis, or the oral. But I don't know why they are referenced. I've seen it referenced either as Arab, ARAB, once, on some whatever, the teleportation device, just to confuse and add insult to injury. That's what this feels like. And then I've seen it once referred to as Latin, more insult to injury. I don't know what to call it. They call it here alphabet, but then alpha beta. But then I've got a problem with forbidden, some linguistical prowess that way with, they're playing some, it feels like some war game of halvesies. Well, we're at halftime. Based on Biden and whatever, and then the other one, and then the other one. It feels like that's what injuxta, Juxta, for a medullary cavity of verbose. It feels like that's what they pushed for. I don't know why. Didn't take part in it. There was a crime scene when I arrived in 1978. I'm just sitting here waiting for Planetary to fix my one purpose and position with whom I was built for, upon arrival, expectation to be brought in unity and sanctity with he. I'm listening on, there's something called an NTD. They've also said something about epoch times, EPOCH, which I don't know what that means. I know it has significance. I'm not sure what it means. However, on this teleportation today, the television puts in something about Charle-Magne. Now, Charle-Magne, Charles, there's a woman laying in her deathbed. There's significance. But the word she speaks, the sounds she makes, is a language or a way of processing information and sound that I, in this 1978 arrangement with Born Lin, Born Lu, have not been able to learn or pattern where it makes sense, but it sounds like home, whatever language. Then they mention that she's Frankish. Now that's interesting that she's Frankish, because geography has not been explained properly at all in any anthropomorphic way, any anthropological way, in any geological way, in any time succession when someone's time dysphoric and disoriented. in a modern and a modern, which is like, okay, how quickly before you get here, before this modern thing catches on, and then they expect me to participate. It's been 43 years having to deal with their modern. Inhumanity. Listen.
Du hast ein großes Reich geschaffen. Größer. Größer als dein Vater es vermochte. Doch öffne deinen Blick und dein Herz und suche einen anderen Weg.
It is the accent and the accentual that she speaks, not necessarily the word or the phonic or the pattern.
So wird unser stolzes Reich zugrunde gehen.
In ancestral and antique, it might be different.
Mein geliebter Sohn.
And then it gets more from countryside.
Charle-Magne and his wife Hildegard died in the same year.
Now, Hildegard, in Amazonian, Brunhilda was an Amazonian princess of sorts, I reference. I call Linda when I don't like her. I call her Brunhilda. But, whatever on that one.
Charlemagne ruled out his son from his first marriage, Pepin the Hunchback, as heir to the throne, in favour of Hildegard's sons.
Now, is Hildegard, since I'm stuck somewhere in the Amazon, it feels like of nothingness, with not a cent to my name and not a handsome Beauregard to ask questions of. Right, Hildegard, and then you've got Beauregard. Just saying. And Beau being Beau.
Karl war sicherlich eine Person.
Charlemagne was definitely someone who we can't relate to. That's because of his personal attitude to life and the juxtaposition of the very brutal actions he performed as a ruler and the great personal charm and charisma which he undoubtedly must have possessed.
Now, they speak of this Charlemagne. I hear his interpretation of it. In this area, never even heard the name. If it wasn't for teleportation, the name, the language, I'm assuming he's Frankish. I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's ancestral Germano, Tedesco? Depends. I mean, again, it's which tribe culturally are we speaking on in this mixed whatever confusing story. It's Confucius. Confucius. You mean confusing? Depends on who you ask. So there's no setup here other than these are the letters in a 26-letter alphabet, or that's what they call it when you write it in script with by hand, mano y mano. And then I have other language being spoken that I can't speak, and then these letters at the bottom in translation I am hoping is correct. but I don't know the actual history or the historical reference of Charlemagne. Nobody taught that in school. Escola? Non so. Je ne sais pas. I don't know. They didn't even speak the word Charlemagne. So I have no historical anchor, context, or reference. Only thing I hear are word patterns, which is juxta. I hear juxta, I'm like juxtamedullary cavity. That's nephronic. That's an important piece in my apparatus.
Hohe Gestalt. Seine Augen waren sehr groß und lebhaft. Die Nase etwas lang. Auch war sein Nacken zwar etwas dick und kurz. Sein Bauch
Their
trat
language.
wenig hervor.
Heaven. Heaven is what this sounds like.
Bei dem Ebenmaß seiner Glieder nicht sehr auf. Seine täglichen Mahlzeiten bestanden aus 4 Gängen. Und Fleisch aß er lieber als alles andere. Ärzte hasste er, weil sie ihm vorschrieben, dass er das Bratenfleisch aufgeben und dafür gekochtes Fleisch essen sollte. Er beklagte sich oft darüber, dass das Fasten seiner Gesundheit schade.
Auch ihr könnt ruhig besser auf der Gesundheit achten, Meister Einhard.
Einhard's statements are the only contemporary descriptions of Charlemagne's appearance. The only other information about the real stature of the Frankish king comes from his mortal remains in his shrine in...
See, even the English word, like I speak English, even the English word spoken by the narrator or the voice actor, their English is different than my English. Linda and Lou, small talk. So the vocabulary is not large on prowess. Spoken in the home, I can jump to a larger context. No idea why. Most likely past life, current life, and the machine being so off, in solar system being withheld, and planet just disappearing.
Aachen Cathedral. The shrine was opened in 1988 for research and restoration purposes. Joachim Schleifrin was the anthropologist charged with making an assessment. At the time, the conclusions were merely drawn from the bone's appearance. The strong bone structure and a large diameter of the pelvis were striking. 2 long bones suggested a height of more than 1 meter 80.
We don't measure in meters here either. Again, I don't know what, they don't give a cartography or atlas or a map in this program. There's no geological reference, just a sound of Frankish. But in, I don't know if that's Germanic or more Franc is French. Again, that gets confusing because I don't have scholarly, or in this English they call it educated, educat, katarutsa. So you've got roots and cat in some whatever name. But it is just like trying to find pieces of sanctimonious in day-to-day nothingness and go, oh, that sounds like that's a tribe that whatever. But you don't even have someone to ask or construct or help search or route you the proper way. It's even with all of this technology that they've allowed into this area, it has not helped at all. I feel it's just caused more doors to close where they needed to be more open. And it's left room and other things have walked in. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole Cateruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.